Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel.
We didn't get into it yesterday, but this Bill Belichick and his girlfriend out on the field is insane. I can't believe what that guy used to be and what he is up to with this new girlfriend.
Yeah, it is definitely a direction switch here for Bill Belichick. Like
what
in
could
New
his
England,
girlfriend possibly be doing on the football field?
Well, here's the amazing thing is that because he works for a public institution, his emails are like open to the public if the media requests them, because it's a state-run operation. So in other words, the state is paying for it, taxpayers are paying for it. So what has come out of this guy's emails is that Bill Belichick has asked for his girlfriend to be CC'd on anything that is sent his way. And his girlfriend is kind of running the operation in terms of like how he's being perceived online. And, you know, Belichick, I guess, is worried about his perception and what the university is willing to accept in terms of what people are writing in via Twitter and Instagram and all these different public accounts. And it is pretty wild to see Belichick, who is now running the show at North Carolina. And yeah, his girlfriend, I don't know what her job is. I don't know what the role is.
Well,
like she's not employed, I don't believe, by the school.
Well, Doogie just sent us a note here, Dove Kleiman on Twitter, that she now has a new role with the UNC football team as the Chief Operating Officer of Belichick Productions.
Wow.
She's the COO of the team, apparently.
Okay.
As of now.
Yeah,
What's Belichick Productions? Does he have some media company?
I have no idea. Maybe he created something just to, have a role for her or what. I don't know the backstory, but I do think this story is going to develop over time. Like once we get into games and play, like, because here's the thing about Belichick, you're getting paid a lot of money. And there's a lot of boosters, and this is a completely different world. You're not in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
You got to win. And this in North Carolina is not some like powerhouse football factory. So what is Belichick going to bring? What is he going to do if he's just there to kind of ride off into the sunset and bring in his kids and have? I don't quite understand. Yeah. It is strange that Bill Belichick.
It's like
is
the Marty
college.
Brodeur to St. Louis at the end, where it was like, why did you need to do that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, the lineage of Bill Belichick. Like, why are you at North Carolina? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't. Well, there's like didn't his dad coach at North Carolina? So
Dude, who cares, man? If it was like Notre Dame or Alabama or who knows, just some heavy hitter team where it's like,
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to Notre Dame and I'm going to bring them back to the promised
championship.
Land. Yeah,
makes sense.
You're at North Carolina.
It's not going to happen.
But there's also, a certain amount of people that are skeptical that he'll stay. That if he gets lured back into the NFL next year, he'll jump and he'll be out of there. Like, he'll go down for a year, he'll do what he's going to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't
set up the program. Maybe his kid takes over for him and he's like, I'm going back to the NFL, or I'm going to shut it down. It's too much. Because now it's like recruiting and a lot of the reasons why college coaches are getting out of it is because it's too much work.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, you got to work during the season, and there's things you're doing during the offseason for sure. But in college football, you are recruiting constantly. And now more than ever,
transfer portal.
With big money and transfer portal, it never stops in college football.
No.
And it's very difficult to compete as well, because if you don't have the money to pay for players, you're in big, big trouble. And that is what's become very clear in collegiate sports. Like, players are like, I want to get paid. I don't care that you're Bill Belichick. I want money if I'm going to come play for you.
And like, North Carolina's always been a basketball school, right? Like that's Jordan's alma mater. So like, there's money going into the basketball program. I don't know how much money is going into North Carolina's football program. Like,
I don't have an answer.
It's not peanuts.
Is one of those guys.
No, they would have some money, and Belichick's not going there
not broke
to work with $100,000. Like, he's got a budget, but you're right. I don't think it's as big as the powerhouse schools.
No.
Like, I don't think they're competing with Michigan and Ohio State and, schools like that. But yeah, it is a strange scene with Belichick, man. It's just it's a very different vibe. Very different vibe.
Very different.
Confirm or deny in about 25 minutes. The Leafs are in Buffalo tonight. What did you say earlier? You're trying to end the...
It's the worst saying in pro sports, especially from this neck of the woods. The phrase is, the leafiest thing you could do.
Trying to come to an end.
Let's
trying
put an
to kill
end to it.
Let's kill that saying, and it starts tonight with a win in Buffalo, clinch the division, bring us the Battle of Ontario. Games on TSN 4. Here's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. Do you have faith that that saying will come to an end starting tonight?
Yes. I mean,
a little more convincing.
The thing is, guys, one, Buffalo has played surprisingly well lately at home. Not on the road, but at home. They're like 13 of 15 at home, including 7 in a row. So we saw last night, like, a desperate team with everything to play for doesn't always get it done, like Montreal against Chicago. So, yes, I believe in Toronto. They're the better team. They found a way this past weekend to be gutsy and find ways to win games, even if they weren't their best. I just don't think this is going to be like a cakewalk, even though the pro Leaf fans, the atmosphere, all of it, I think it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, and it is one that, again, they can control their own destiny. And the point that we were making with, like, the leafiest way of throwing things away is, you go into a game like tonight where probably Tampa beats Florida, and all you got to do is take care of your own business, just like Montreal could have done last night, and they couldn't do it.
Even the way leafiest sounds, it's a horrible.
Yeah, it's cringy.
Oh, it's negative connotation.
It's very uncomfortable, but they own it. Like, they've created it, and you're not going to kill it officially tonight. Ultimately, that's going to come in the playoffs, but they've been playing really well, Johnny. Like, they're what are they, 11-2-1 in the last 14 games, I believe it is, and dealing with some injuries, but they're kind of peaking. They just had themselves a really good weekend, and yes, it's not going to be easy. I'm curious to see how many Leaf fans are going to be in attendance tonight, but just
judging by the streets, Hayes, plenty. Like, just driving in here tonight, and it overrun with blue and white on the streets of Buffalo. So I expect it to be like 50-50 split almost.
Okay. So that is a big boost. Because I think Leaf fans are going to freak out once it becomes official that we have the Battle of Ontario. And I'm curious, like, being around the team in some capacity the way you are, Johnny, do you sense that these players, do they have any understanding of the history? You were a part of it. You played in the Battle of Ontario.
I don't. No. I mean, Max Domi would, because Dad was right in the thick of it all. In fact, Ottawa would probably have a greater sense of it from Toronto's side because they got Travis behind the bench, right? And he would have been right in the middle of it as well. But it was so long ago. A lot of these guys were barely even alive. And so I don't think this group is particularly interested in who they have to play. Like, I don't, they may appreciate it'll be cool that it'll be the Battle of Ontario, and I guess they'll watch the old clips, but I think they're pretty focused on the challenge and the daunting challenge it will be to do what they haven't been able to do. So focus much more inward than outward. Like, we'll be excited. It's going to be amazing back and forth between the two cities, the fan bases, all of it would be great if it were to happen. But I don't get the sense that these Leaf players are particularly caring about that, and certainly not too well versed in the history of it.
Johnny, watching this team all year, it seems like one bad period and the lines are changed. There's a different philosophy. Marner with Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, all of it. But do you think Domi going up with Tavares and Nylander could be something that would be like, we're going to ride this out into the playoffs?
I mean, it could. They've been searching for the sixth guy for the entire season.
Has Bobby McMahon dropped off that much where he doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt? I kind of thought he got to a point where it was like that was his spot.
No points in 9 games. Shots have gone down. Scoring chances have gone down. Goals against have gone up. I don't know how long you wait for him to get it going. The problem, I think, with McMahon, and I think this is where he's so different than Max. Bobby McMahon is a straight-line player who wants the puck, to skate fast, and to shoot. And you have two guys on the ice who both are, Nylander wants the puck all the time, and I think that can be an issue sometimes for Bobby McMahon because he doesn't get it as much. And Tavares needs the puck with service from his wingers in the slot area. That's where he's amazing, and he doesn't get that service. That's not to suggest Bobby McMahon's not a good player, not an effective player. It's just that stylistically, I don't know if it was a brilliant fit. So Max going there, defensively becomes a concern because that line, as good as they've been offensively, haven't always been on the right side of things for, chances, shots, goals against. But with the puck, it makes more sense for Max to play on the wing with those two than to Bobby McMahon. But then it just goes, our third line center is going to be what? Holmberg, and the fourth line is going to be Lawton. Like, is that? Are you comfortable with the third line and the fourth line looking like that further down the roster? That's probably part of the equation as to whether Max starts the playoffs. And whatever you think, of Max Pacioretty, because he is the other wild card that we've sort of forgotten. He would be the guy that could maybe play in that role as the sixth guy and contribute enough to spread the offense elsewhere. But I don't know. He's been out for so long. I don't know if they feel comfortable doubling him in game one.
Johnny, we're on milestone watch tonight, so the Leafs can win the Atlantic, which they've only done twice since last time they won the Stanley Cup, one of which the bubble year. Matthews can get goal 400. Marner can get to 100 points for the first time in his career. Tavares, 2 away from 40, and Nyes 1 away from 30. How many of these do you think we see tonight?
Okay, well, and even a little asterisk, like the bubble year was that the Atlantic or was that the Canadian?
It was
division?
The Canadian division, so yeah,
right.
they've only won it once.
Even the Atlantic. And
yeah.
The last time they won it, I played for the Leafs. Right? That's how long ago it's been. So it's been a minute. I think they get in. I think Mitch gets 100. Austin 400 maybe, and that's all I'll give you. I don't know. Matty Nyes 1 and JT 2. That might be asking for too much. So 3 of the 5 will probably get done tonight.
Oof. All right. So you got a win tonight. Marner getting a point, and you got Matthews. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that.
I have the game going like tight, maybe to overtime. It might be a close game, but they'll get enough.
All they need is a point, right? They could lose in overtime and they still win the division.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. And that's the thing about last night. Like, we started the show talking about the Habs and how the Demidov story was an amazing story, and it turned into be a great distraction because the focus was more on him, other than the fact that they choked away a point against Chicago when they had a 2-0 lead. Like, you have to win that game last night if you're Montreal, and now they're just going to make their lives that much more difficult, and they got to watch Columbus and Philly tonight, and they're still in the driver's seat, and I feel good about them getting in. But what was your reaction to the whole scene last night at the Bell Center?
Well, one, I tuned in like everyone else, and give Montreal fans credit. Like, they know how to rise to an occasion, eh? Like,
Big time.
Fact that they were sold out for warm-up, standing ovation for rookie lap, chanting his name whenever he touched the ice, whether he had the puck or not. I'm like, this is how you welcome someone to the NHL. And then, of course, he looked outrageously good, like brilliant with the puck. Like, I don't want to overstate it. It's just one game at Chicago, whatever, but the amount of smooth plays he has, the way he skates, and this is his first game. He's still jet lagged. I don't know if he can speak English. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wait till he gets comfortable. But I wonder, Hayes, if at the root of your question, he looked so great because he was new. He was able to play freely because there's no stress on him. He hasn't dealt with 6 months of anxiety to try to get to a finish line. He just jumped in the race with 10 yards left. Like, whatever happens, happens. Whereas the rest of the team, almost for the first time all year, the whole year they've sort of been overachieving, playing with house money. Isn't this a good story? Aren't they ahead of the program, of the schedule? And then now it's like now you have something to lose. Like, you could screw it up and lose what you've earned to this point. And they look tight. The team sort of generally looked a little bit tight, a little bit flat, because I think the stress of the moment, as opposed to Demidov, who was just dancing around having a good time. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about backing your way in? I think Montreal would be delighted to see Columbus not win in regulation.
Big time.
They don't want to try against Carolina. They got Carolina, I think it's tomorrow. They want no part of Carolina having to get a point, even though Carolina's not playing great. So they'd be happy if they could weasel their way in with some sort of point dropped or regulation non-win.
Big time, man.
By Columbus. Big time.
You don't care how. There's no emphasis on.
No pride,
we're going to do it ourselves.
No,
exactly.
No.
Just get in.
Get in, man.
I'll take it the back door, whatever it is. I don't want to earn my way in there. I don't care. I've done enough. Please just let us get in.
Big time.
Well, and whoever gets in, you got Washington, and that's a team that has not played well at this point. Mm-hmm. I think they're 3-7 the last 10. They're allowing like 4.5 goals per game. Like, what's the level of concern right now out in Wash for the way things have been going?
Probably pretty high. In that nothing has gone wrong all year long. The whole year has just unfolded beautifully, from the way they played to the additions that they've made to Ovi's chase to the success of it. All of it has just been a great celebration of hockey in Washington, and not just Ovi. But Ovi sort of masked how they weren't playing quite as well the last couple of weeks, and they haven't had a lot of adversity. And the one thing, we'll love this, but like Wash was shooting, after, I haven't looked at it lately, but after 60 games, they were shooting at a higher level than any other team had ever shot, shooting percentage, in the last 20 years. Like, are they that good? Is the system that great? Are the goals, like, that felt like it had to regulate. And I would be worried if I'm a Washington fan that maybe that's what's happening, that they're playing, not as well, but also some of these things are regressing back to a normal level. And if it does, Washington is not nearly sort of the dominant force that they appeared to be through 65 games.
With Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. So last night it got a little bit ugly in the Kings-Oilers game, and the Oilers were not playing really anyone last night. And this is what Philip Deneau had to say about the Oilers lineup and the way that the game played out.
I think they just have their B squad and trying to hurt us, so that's pretty much the message tonight. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah,
the play by Darnell Nurse, that's not a hockey play. The cross-check to the head of Byfield, who hasn't returned. We hope he's okay. When you saw that happen, what's going through your mind when you see something like that happen on the ice?
Well, I just said about their game plan, trying to hurt us. So
it's like a Denny Lemieux type of vibe.
Go to the box, feel shame.
But like Corey Perry after the game wasn't happy with it. Perry's he's doing his thing these days, right? Reacting to everything. He's kind of being the spokesman of the team with McDavid not playing and Draisaitl. But I think Deneau was right. But how would you feel about that kind of commentary if you're on the Oilers?
I would, even though I think we can all take a step back and say, yeah, that's right. Like, that would barely be an exhibition game lineup that they played last night. They had their top 5, 6, 7 players not playing. So the B squad lineup, while true, would also piss me off. One time, Hayes, as an example, I was with Tampa. We're not a good team. We're playing in Montreal. We beat them. And Patrice Brisebois, who turns out to be a nice guy, but at the time I'm like, shut up, because he said after the game, something to that effect, I can't believe we lost that team. That team barely belongs in the NHL, or something to that effect. And we're all like, well, that may be true. We may be in last place. Like, you take such great offense as an athlete, as a competitor, to anything like that. So I get the reaction, the B squad reaction, even though it's probably true. I also think the idea, like, they never would have said it in the room, right? They would have said, listen, guys, we're not going to have our best lineup, but let's make sure to take our pound of flesh. They wouldn't have had to say it, but it would sort of be understood. Like, we're going to make this game physical. We're going to make it nasty.
Yeah.
And if we want to take a run at someone because we're losing the game, whatever. That's okay.
That was the thought process, Johnny. We might go down tonight, but we better take a chunk out of them.
We're taking someone with us.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. And again, he's probably right, but no one wants to say it. And as far as, I don't know if you guys, I don't want to diminish, it was dumb, Darnell Nurse, he should get fined or whatever. He didn't love Byfield that hard the second time. He just sort of like leaned on him.
Yeah. He's not missing playoff games.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looked bad and it was intentional and things were getting chippy at the time. So maybe he's got to get fined or something, or maybe they suspended in the last game, whatever. But it wasn't, I would watch that and it wasn't a violent act, which would warrant severe discipline. So, yes, it was not great, but it wasn't. I've seen worse.
Yes, exactly.
You've seen worse frequently.
Yeah, I could see the gratuitous last game of the year suspension just to kind of settle things down before the series starts. But that's not going to do anything because Nurse is going to be playing in game 1.
Yeah,
like the series is going to be crazy. And I'm fearful.
I'm worried, though.
For Edmonton,
I'm very worried for Edmonton.
Me too.
They were my team before, and I sort of stuck with them, and then they righted the ship, and now they've wronged the ship. But Ekholm is such a massively important player for them. There is no replacing him. Remember when he arrived 2 years ago? They went on 22-3 run to end of the season because he just sets everything up on their back end, and he works so well with Bouchard. And you take him out, and then Draisaitl hasn't played in a while. McDavid's on 99 points. He obviously doesn't care since he's just resting, and rather than try to get his 100th point. Kane hasn't played all year. Hyman's missed the last 10 days as well. Like, even as healthy, it would have been close to a toss-up with, you're going up against the best home team in the league with home ice. you take all these guys either out of the lineup or at a somewhat injured state. I mean, I think LA should be the favorite, and they will be given the situation.
Yeah, yet on FanDuel it's still Edmonton.
Yeah,
and I think that's a slight favorite. That's
Edmonton's
the power
favorite over LA.
Yes,
minus 128, I believe.
But that's the power of McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah,
like, that's what it is,
and the history of it.
Yes, and the history. Exactly, it's got a Battle of Ontario vibe back in the day, where it didn't matter what the Kings were doing or what the Ottawa Senators were doing or who was playing for the Leafs. The Leafs won. And I'm thinking that that's the expectation here is Edmonton will find a way to make this work. But they don't know, like, who's playing in net. Ekholm's out. He's not playing.
Yeah.
So who's in net? You don't have your best defenseman. Draisaitl's banged up. Maybe he's 90%, 95%. I don't know. But he's banged up. Other guys are not having career years. It just doesn't feel good at all. Like, it doesn't feel positive for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
They're just slower and smaller.
Right.
And like you take out Fogle, McLeod, who's here tonight in Buffalo, has 50 points in Buffalo. Fogle had, 23 goals. Holloway, we've talked a lot about. Broberg, we talked a lot about. These are significant players that played on their third and fourth lines last year, and they don't have those kind of players available to them. And the guys they brought in,
is Vander Kane getting back for?
They're not
he's
sure.
On the ice. They're not sure either, but I would expect him to play.
That's a boost if he can keep up. Like, again, he hasn't played in a year.
True.
So, like, here's a question for you: Evander Kane or Gabriel Landeskog, who makes more of an impact in the first round? Kane.
I'm just going by time, man.
Landeskog's played a couple of
couple
games.
points in the American League, but looked pretty good.
I'm with though. Like, I think without understanding what the sort of intangible addition of Landeskog might do with leadership and all that stuff. I think Kane, if he's healthy, he's younger, he's going to be faster, he's going to be closer to what his optimum, like if Landeskog comes back, even if he comes back, is he going to be 80, 70, 60, which still might be good enough to play, whereas if Kane comes back, he'll be closer to whatever 100% is for him if he's healthy. So I think Kane would probably have a chance. And, if Evander Kane comes back, he's going to play with a good player. Like, he's not going to be on the checking line, whereas Landeskog might be on the fourth line if he comes back.
Yes. Still a remarkable story, man.
Amazing. Like, I tuned into American League highlights to see what happened. Like, I was that interested. So it tells you all you need to know.
I know, it's amazing. It's truly an amazing, amazing story. All right, Johnny, Leafs Sabres tonight. It's a big one.
All right.
Battle of Ontario could be established in about 4 hours.
Hey, if they win, are they hanging a banner? They can't.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past them. The
division banners?
Divisional
those go
banner?
up, don't they? Those go up in the rafters.
Go up in the summer.
Those are going up.
Yeah, it's not going up game one of the playoffs.
Chew on that for a minute because I don't know if that's okay.
It shouldn't go up, but I think it might go up. I think there's Raptors divisional.
Yeah.
Well, is that
all around the league
division
that's
banner up?
No. I don't think the North Division's up.
Now, you could have what about a division banner that just says, like, division winner, and you just put the years. You could put, 16 of the years that it happens. Like,
I like that.
Corner.
Yeah. Classy.
Instead of an individual banner for each time it happens, but just, every subsequent year, you just add another year to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the
more
play.
palatable than an actual banner.
Yes.
Right?
That's doable.
Yes.
Okay, there's your suggestion.
Okay.
MLSC, make that work.
Suggestion box, we'll put it in there.
Perfect. Thank you, Johnny.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
Mike Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Drive the built-in Canada fuel-efficient, fun-to-drive Toyota RAV4 gas or hybrid models available. Visit mapletoyota.com. Look that up, Doogie, if they have. Like, I'm sure the Raptors have won their division.
They got them up in the banner, and I know.
But, individual years, or like Johnny said,
I believe
won it
it's
in 04, 07, in 2017, 2018. I don't know.
I just
why not
throw a banner up. We're talking about Landeskog. Colorado better hope that he can get back to being a useful piece. That contract will be an anchor.
How many years does he have left?
He still has, after this season, 3 more years left at $7 million.
Oof. Yeah,
but don't they get relief if the guy just retires?
Yes, exactly. And he won't retire. He'll go on long-term IR. Like, if he can't play or it doesn't work, he'll just say, I can't play anymore. But you're right. I mean, what are you going to do, though? The guy, he's
clearly he wants to play.
Team.
He could have done this already.
That's the amazing thing, man. 3 years, the guy's been grinding.
Yeah.
To his credit, and he's back. All right, we got Leafs Sabres tonight on TSN Radio and on TSN 4. Gonna be a good one tonight. Could be banner night for the Leafs.
You remember the saying that we're getting rid of? Day by day, we're chiseling away at it. The leafiest thing ever of no more.
Yep,
No more
leafiest
of
thing
it.
ever. Oh yeah, there it is. See, they do the division champs. They add to the years whenever they win it, not individual ones. They'll do an Eastern Conference champ and a championship banner, but they'll add to the years. So the Leafs will do that if they win the division. They'll have a little divisional banner up there. I like it and I appreciate it. All right, we'll catch you on the panel tonight. We got an hour left. Confirm or deny coming up. And Steve Phillips on what's up with the Jays offense. What can we expect out of them tonight? His take on Juan Soto's comments last night as well. Just after 6 o'clock. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Austin trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, confirm or deny. Statements are made. We either confirm them or we deny them. Very simple stuff. Very simple stuff.
Love it.
And there's a lot to get to here, including I'm seeing something on Pat McAfee's feed that Rich Paul was on there earlier, I guess, with him.
Oh.
We might have to get that audio and play it about the Big Three era in Miami and how now they're trying to change history and the way it's defined and the way it's. I mean, this is LeBron. So I'm just reading the clip. I'd rather play it. We'll get to it. But what I read was that Rich Paul, who represents LeBron, is suggesting it wasn't really a Big Three era. It was a Big Two with depth, with elite depth. In other words, it was LeBron and D. Wade, and Chris Bosh wasn't really a part of the Big Three, which to me...
Hall of Famer.
A's in the Hall of Fame. B, he jumped first. Like, he went first, and then LeBron went through his whole scheme. But also, like, it's so disrespectful to Chris Bosh, who is a really, really good player. Like you said, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Outrageous.
But this is such a blatant LeBron. Like, now it's...
So why are we spinning this 10 years later?
My
What's
guess,
the point of this?
It's always about LeBron and Jordan. And Jordan had Pippen. And you could argue Rodman, but Rodman was not a Big Three. He was more elite depth. That's what it feels like to me. Revisionist history or trying to update the debate. And I hope nobody falls for it, because the idea that wasn't a Big Three is absurd.
Idiocy.
Chris Bosh in 2010 was in the prime of his career in a Hall of Fame career. He was a 20-10 stud that did fit in well because he had to take a back seat. There's no denying that it was LeBron first, then Wade, then Bosh. But that's like the Big Three in Boston. I would say Ray Allen was the third guy. But it was still a Big Three. Yes, it was Paul Pierce and KG 1 and 2, and then Ray Allen. But Allen played a massive role in that. No one's looking back and saying, actually, it was Paul Pierce and KG in elite depth.
No.
Like, that's just
I just don't know why.
To suggest that Chris Bosh was not a serious player.
Well, 10 years later, that's what kind of irks me, is why we're revisiting this. There's just no sense to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what my guess is it's always because of LeBron doesn't get enough love, and LeBron is getting propped up, and look at LeBron's teammates who he's had throughout his career. And,
there's enough. But there's enough, like that one year in Cleveland, I think it was the first year Kyrie got hurt, and then he dragged that team all the way through, and I think they ended up losing to Golden State in 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he dragged that ragtag bunch. Like, you could sit there and still say, look, he went to 8 straight finals. You don't have to sit here and clown on Chris Bosh and be like, that's the thing that we're going to sit here and kind of pick apart.
And is that next? Kevin Love is going to play that role? Like, when you look back at the Cavs teams, was it actually LeBron and Kyrie? Like, why stop at Bosh? Like, why? How about Kevin Love? And I don't know who their third best player would have been in LA when they won in the bubble. It was him and Davis.
AD.
I don't remember who that was.
Might have been just the two. That you can make the argument.
Yes, there you go. And now you got Luka. Like, Austin Reeves is clearly not a Big Three. Like, he's not the equivalent of what Bosh is or what Kevin Love was.
No.
Like, he is clearly an elite depth third option with the Lakers. Yes, it is LeBron and Luka. But, that to me is unsettling because even though Bosh left the Raptors high and dry, he went down there. And Chris is a good guy that has always handled the pressure really, really well. And I think he understood his role in that. We have it. This is Rich Paul. Okay, here we go. Rich Paul on Pat McAfee earlier this afternoon. All right, there you go. I couldn't quite hear all of it in here, but I'll trust the quotes that I saw are accurate. And anyway, this will be a story now. Rich Paul, why are you saying this? Of course it will be. And now tomorrow all over ESPN, it's going to be, was Chris Bosh actually a part of the Big Three or was he just an elite depth player? And what does it mean for the legacy of LeBron? And what does it mean for LeBron versus Michael Jordan?
The NBA is always bonkers.
Yeah. We're right, but the playoffs are starting. The play-in is tonight. Yeah. Why are we talking about something
a decade ago?
Yes, 15 years ago.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
15 years ago, they started in Miami. 15. LeBron is playing in the playoffs later this week for a very good Lakers team. Anyway, confirm or deny. You ready to get
let's get into
started here, Alice, brother? All right. In a Caps versus Canadian series, which I still believe will happen. I think the Habs are going to punch their ticket. Last night stung a little bit, but I think they're going to get there and they will play Washington.
Okay.
Ivan Demidov will create more buzz than Alex Ovechkin.
Oh. Deny. It's still Alex Ovechkin here. We're still talking about the number one goal scorer of all time. Like, I get it, there's a lot of hype right now with Demidov, but like, it's got to be Ovi, no? That just seems like you're a prisoner of the moment with Demidov.
Oh, I am undoubtedly a prisoner of the moment, but I'm also well aware of the difference between the Montreal hockey market and the Washington hockey market.
Oh, I get that, but
that's how you create buzz is where you play.
Yes.
And
but
that's
Ovechkin
my thing.
Can overcome all of that.
Yes,
though.
he can.
We witnessed that a couple of weeks ago.
He should be larger than life. He is larger than life.
Absolutely.
In terms of who he is and what he's done. But like anything he does in the playoffs is just a bonus now. Now that he's caught Gretzky, his legacy is secured. Anything he does now is a bonus. That said, you're the one seed. You're expected to win. They will be huge favorites against the Habs. They should win that series, and he will have to factor into that victory. If they lose, he's going to take heat. He should. He's the captain of a team that could choke away a series that they should win. But I'm actually going to confirm this because of Montreal. That's what I'm talking about. Like Demidov in the playoffs, making his playoff debut. If he performs, and listen, he's got to be careful because the playoffs is a different beast. Last night, defensively, I don't know if he's like, I don't know how much St. Louis is even going to play.
They were playing Chicago.
I understand that.
They're playing Chicago.
I understand that.
The worst
I'm
team
a
in
prisoner
the
in the moment. I am a prisoner of the moment. But I just feel like Ovi popped a week ago, 10 days ago. Like, that was the ultimate Ovechkin. I can't believe it. He's done it. He passed Gretzky. All of the oxygen was directed towards him. Ever since that moment, Washington's been pushed completely aside. Now, it'll change once you get back to the playoffs. When you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're going to have your moment. You're going to have your spotlight. I guess I'm saying from a Canadian perspective, obviously in Washington, I'm sure on ESPN, TNT, and all that, it's going to be Ovi, and it should be. Of course it should be. I'm saying because this kid is playing for the Habs, now it's a different world in Montreal.
Can I spin it back to you with a little confirm or deny?
Yes.
Confirm or deny, Ivan Demidov gets more action than Lane Hudson. Because that could counteract, like if you're talking all Hudson, then
you're right.
That Demidov's not. So like they could counteract
Hudson
each other.
Making his playoff debut. Listen, Suzuki was there in 21.
Yes.
But it was, Caulfield made it. He was a rookie. He had just come out of college.
Yeah,
but
buried the Leafs in overtime.
Yes, and listen, they went to the Cup final that year, so they gained a ton of experience. There was a lot to it. But the last few years, it feels like a reset for the whole organization.
For sure,
it feels like Suzuki's walking into a new era here in Caulfield. So there's going to be a lot of excitement that will be spread throughout the lineup, presuming they make it. I think Hudson, you make a good point because Hudson's going to play. He's going to play a ton of minutes.
Oh yeah,
like you're going to dance with the girl you brought to the dance. He is going to play a ton. Demidov, come playoff time, they may not play him like 20 minutes a night.
That's what I mean.
You have a lead in the third period, he may skip some shifts. That is 100% valid. But I don't know. I'm caught up in the craziness
I think game
of
one,
Montreal
you'll
right
see
now.
Demidov hype there, but I think it wanes off.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Confirm or deny, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has more pressure to succeed than any other Toronto athlete.
It's so tough. Like, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on these Leafs because they haven't quite gotten over that hump. So as a team, I think there's a lot of pressure, but no one's making $500 million. And I think that's where the pressure really is going to come. So I'm going to confirm it. I think there's more pressure on Vladdy now than there would be on a Marner or a Matthews or a Nylander, just simply because the guy's making $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with expectation.
Yes, and I think long-term that is likely going to be the case. I'm going to deny it because of the moment. Again, prisoner of the moment. The playoffs begin for the Leafs in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing like playoff pressure in Toronto when it comes to the Maple Leafs, especially with their top dogs. And I would counter, $500 million is absurd. We've never seen anything even close to it in this city. He's not the highest paid player in the league. Austin Matthews is the highest paid player in the NHL. And I think the pressure, that's my number one guy. There shouldn't be more pressure on Vladdy, even though he signed this deal that doesn't kick in until next year. Vladdy's got a lot of pressure. He's got to perform. He's got to be better. He's got to play a big, big role in this team succeeding. He has to. We saw the presser yesterday. The reason they've committed to him is so that he will be a main piece in a World Series winning team. He's got to play that role. Matthews has been here for 9 years. Matthews is the face of the most popular team, the most storied team in the city.
Yeah.
The captain, the highest paid player on the team, highest paid player in the league. He's got to perform. He's got to perform.
Unquestioned.
So as much as 500, I understand it. I get it. And we'll get there. For me, it's Vladdy's he's still behind at least Matthews, if not Matthews, Marner, maybe Nylander.
But doesn't that kind of, like when you look at almost like the Demidov Hudson thing, when there's three guys to shoulder the blame, you can kind of point to three different people that share it, where Vladdy, I mean, that's one guy.
Yes.
That's failure for the Blue Jays if he does absolutely nothing going forward.
Yeah, and you're right in terms of like the other guys. Also, it's about team success, and that's what the pressure comes from. And obviously, that is going to apply to Vladdy. But we're 17 games into the year, and when you get paid that kind of money in a sport where the individual, you got to just do your own thing, right? Like you're up there on your own.
Yeah,
exactly. Like. You got to be a good teammate, and you got to defensively be sound, and you got to run the bases properly, and you got to you got to pick your teammates up. There's elements of the sport that are team related, but in baseball, really, it is: have you hit home runs? Do you slug? How do you control the strike zone? Are you a guy that is striking fear in the opponent? And guys in the dugout aren't going to help you in that.
No.
So from his standpoint, it is more like he's got pressure to individually put up numbers to justify things. But I think with the Leafs being where they are right now, if they clinch the division, if it's the Battle of Ontario, it's still Matthews at the forefront.
All right. I'll concede on that one.
Okay.
I'll concede.
All right. Confirm or deny. Continuing here. What else do I have? I've got this one for you. Rory McIlroy. Confirm or deny. Rory McIlroy will win at least one more major this season.
This season.
Mm-hmm. 3 more in the tank for Rory. He's riding a high right now, leaving Augusta National in a green jacket.
I'll confirm it.
Feeling good.
I'll confirm it.
Monkey's off his back
That's
now.
what I think. I think the pressure of that, it's off his back. He's playing some great golf. I'll confirm it. I think Rory can win himself one more.
Okay. I have a difficult time getting there after 11 years of saying what is happening with this guy. You know what I mean? And he's already had a year that he would sign off on forever.
Oh, 100%.
He's won at Pebble, he's won the Players, and he's won the Masters. He could not finish. If he finished outside of the top 10 every tournament he played the rest of the year, he wouldn't care. If you told him, I'll give you the Masters on its own, he would take it.
Probably.
Masters with the Players and Pebble Beach, he'd say, where do I sign up? So I am curious to see does he ride a high to the point where he's like, all right, I'm putting my feet up for a while? Or does this make him really kind of choke down and realize, I can do this, and I've done it now, and I'm going to keep shutting people up?
That's what I'd like to see.
A real fork in the road. I want to see the latter. I want to see him say, get me to Quail Hollow for the PGA, and I'm going to torch this place.
Well, he was supposed to be like the next guy, right? Like back Tiger, when Tiger was going through his thing, it's like, okay, who can golf turn to?
Who can get to 10, 12, 15 majors?
Right? And it started off very well. The guy was unbelievable early in his career, and then he went on that dry spell. And it all came to a close this past weekend. And I just think now, with all that kind of pressure off his back, he can go out there and win one more tournament just to be like, I have achieved what I was set out to do. It took me a while, right? It took him a while to get that done. But if he can win 2 majors this year and get the Masters, get that checked off the bucket list, I mean...
Your PGA Player of the Year, you're probably going to win the FedEx. Then you're going into the Ryder Cup on American soil at Bethpage Black in New York. It's going to be incredible. I'm going to confirm it because I want to confirm it.
Yeah.
I know that's a cop-out. I want to believe in that. And I think they're courses that set up very well for him to compete. I expect that he'll make the cut and be in the running. It's just there's other guys, too. Like Scheffler is going to be in it. Schauffele's going to get it together here. DeChambeau's going to get it together. He's going to be in the hunt. When you get to the U.S. Open, that guy's going to be in it. Quail Hollow, he's going to be in it. So there's tough competition. There's no guarantees. But it's amazing how his reputation has changed like that. Like this time last week, it's like, I don't know with McIlroy. I don't know if he's ever going to win. Or what are we going to think of when we think of McIlroy? We'll think of him throwing away majors.
Dude, Sunday at about 11 a.m., you were thinking that.
Yeah. You're like, what's this guy going to do?
And then again at 12:28.
It just kept going.
And again. And going. Then he choked it on 18. And it's like, oh my God, he's going to do this again.
It just kept going and going and
But he did it.
But he did it.
He did it.
And that's all
I think
that
he'll
matters.
do it again, Hazy B.
Okay. You sold me on this. Steve Phillips in about 20 minutes. Nico Harrison, your boy, the GM of the Mavs, had a very, very unique press conference. It wasn't even a press conference. It was a round table today. We'll tell you about that. And continue to look ahead to Leaf Sabres tonight. And the Jays, of course, playing the Braves down at the Dome. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app. All right, today's best bets are powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Alice, brother, do you have like a bonanza parlay that you want to play right now?
I do, and we talked about it a little earlier how tonight is Milestone Watch Day.
Yes.
So how about a little milestone parlay?
I love it.
Maple Leafs, they win tonight, they win the division. So let's go. Leafs money line. Austin Matthews needs one more goal to hit 400 on his career. Austin Matthews anytime goal. Mitch Marner needs 1 point to hit 100 points for the first time. Add in Mitch Marner points. So Leafs money line, Matthews goal, Marner 1+ point, that pays plus 288.
Oh, I love that parlay. What did you call it? The Milestone Parlay?
The Milestone Parlay.
All right. And it's powered by FanDuel. Live same-game parlays are now available for every NHL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. So Nico Harrison, your boy, the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, in one of the more gutless plays in history, for the first time since the Luka trade, had a roundtable with select members of the media in Dallas where there were no cameras allowed and no recording devices allowed. So in other words, this guy basically was like, let's go back to the 1940s or the 1800s, and you can bring in a pad of paper and a pen, and you can write down some quotes.
Newspaper guys.
Yes, basically it's newspaper guys. It's like he was just at Augusta, and he said, I love this. No cell phones. We're going to bring this to my pressers. And to me, it just doesn't... I understand he's under attack. Like, he is
and
a
rightfully
wanted
so.
man in Dallas for trading Luka. Like,
I'm sorry, he ruined the franchise.
how they didn't perceive or understand what the reaction was going to be or project what the reaction is going to be is completely tone deaf and crazy and delusional. How you didn't know people were going to lose it and never trust you again.
No.
But it has been constant, and it didn't help that Luka just rolled through town and put 45 on the board, and the Lakers slapped them around. That was not helpful. But I'm sorry, if you're the GM of the club, you got to just get up and do your pressers. You can't run from it for the rest of your life.
It's his job to do that, Hayes.
Yes.
It's his job to do that, and it's his job to come out. And I fully expect him to still sit here and defend his decision. It was only a couple of months ago that he made it. I mean, I guess based on how the season went, he can sit there and say, well, I suppose it was a bad move. You can't say that yet. 15 years down the line in a tell-all book, I guarantee you he's going to say, the biggest regret of my career was trading Luka. I guarantee.
You're calling that shot right now.
I guarantee.
Okay.
Hazy.
All right.
15 years from now, when that guy's all done and he's chilling in Galveston, maybe, he is going to regret that decision.
Or the tell-all is going to be the owner forced me to do it. He'll buckle and blame somebody else. The president said or whatever. But I hear you. And it's going to fall on deaf ears, whatever his explanation is going to be.
100%.
Because he was saying today, like, defense wins championships, which is what he said right after the deal, but he's really committed to that. And he's like, I'm telling you, when we win, you're going to understand. And he used other analogies in the sport in terms of different trades that do not hold water to this one. Like, they're completely on different levels. There's no parallels between what he had been comparing earlier today. But the idea that you put forth stipulations, and there's a part of me that is surprised the media in Dallas didn't say, we don't accept those terms. Like, collectively, we don't accept those terms. If you want to talk with us, if you want to have a media press conference, you have to have microphones and cameras. Like, it's just, it's crazy that this guy
absurd behavior.
It's like, I'm
GM.
Yeah, and they got a play-in game.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he knows we're not going anywhere here. I got to get out of here, disappear, do my media behind closed doors, and I'll see you next September. But this story's not going away. And if the Lakers and Luka go on a run, if Luka drags them to a finals and wins one, that's it. It's over. Like, he'll just never be able to ever recover.
No.
And there's a part of me that kind of wants to see that happen.
I want to see that happen.
Yeah, it'll be kind of crazy. All right, final half hour coming up. The pregame starting up soon. Bonesy and Ralphie with the call tonight. Steve Phillips will join us into the next hour. Teeing up Leafs Sabres. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.